We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars Wrestling Show, episode 493, the Royal Rumble edition. Oh, yes, kids, it's that time again. I'm your man behind the microphone and your current reigning and defending Scholars of Wrestling world champion. I am Scholar Jeff. Joining us this week, the illustrious Scholar Brian. I was looking for more descriptors, but I just saw your stunning face and I was just at a loss for words. Sir, how are you this evening?
Well, thank you for the deadpan compliment, but I I finally get to sit back and enjoy a Royal Rumble game because I'm not going for the title and I don't have the title. So I'm just sitting back here, relaxing, having a good time, playing around with picks in my head and what I'm gonna put on the forum that's online now.
There's a pop.
With the At the end of the show, while watching you two play nice, even though the fact remains that someone's going to turn on someone this weekend. That's just the way it's going to be.
No, of course not. That would never happen. And speaking of people who will never betray me or turn on me in any way, we have, last but certainly not least, my challenger for this evening, the one and only Scholar Pete. Scholar Pete, are you ready, sir?
As I live and breathe. It's interesting, Scholar Ray, that you didn't mention that we were tag team partners. It's interesting that you're hosting, but you're defending a championship match. So let me ask you something, Scholar Jeff. Why is it that you think you can break all these rules, that you could do whatever you want just because Scholar Tark is on sabbatical? And he's not here to host. You take it upon yourself, but I'm the champion. I can do whatever I want. And then you introduce me, sir. You're a tag team partner. But alas, the world does not know I'm your tag team partner unless they watched past episodes. But for the newcomers, hello. Me and Jeff were once tag team partners, but now turned bitter rivals. Because let me tell you something, Scholar Jeff. The time is now. And that's no pun for later on in this episode. It's a pun for right now. I am coming back for my belt, and I will show you why I am the future of Scholars of Wrestling.
Did I not warn you? I did warn you.
Curse
I
your
know this.
sudden but
I
inevitable
know.
betrayal.
I know this man better than anyone. I lived with this man. I know when it's coming. I warned you and you did not pay attention. Whatever happens this weekend is on you.
Well,
And
you
I
know
mean,
what? You know what? Now is the exact time to put your money where your mouth is. Put your predictions where your mouth is. Now is the
let me
time
tell
to
you,
prove yourself.
I definitely will. Scholar fans, of course, make sure you just watch this greatness that's about to unfold in front of your eyes because truly what I'm going to say to you guys is what's going to happen in just 24 hours from now, depending when you're viewing this on YouTube and other platforms. But let me tell you something, Scholar. Jeff, I've been waiting for this moment for months, and I cannot wait to take that smile off your face and become a two-time champion.
I do hope for your sake that your predictions go over better than they did last show. Because 2 points aren't going to do it. But
But
I'm
you know
just saying.
what? You know what? That's okay because there's a lot of points up for grabs tonight, and we're going to break down every single little bit of it. And Scholar Pete, we're going to see if you really are everything you claim to be. So, with that, with that out of the way, let's just dive right into it. This is the Royal Rumble 2025. Starting with
Bum,
our
bum,
first
bum.
match. Our first match on the card. We've got for the WWE Tag Team titles, we've got DIY defending their newly won Tag Team championships against the Motor City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Now, for this one, normally the champ has right of first pick or deferment to the next person in line. With that, I'm going to defer to my incoming challenger for first pick. Who do you got between DIY and Motor City Machine Guns?
Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is already on display in front of your eyes. He's trying to attack the people that just want their title back. And as the people's champion, I will bring it back with DY with as
You're
long
already
You can't even
breaking.
say it
You're already
right.
breaking.
listen, I'm not breaking. I'm not
One
breaking.
match in and you're already folding.
Folding, you say. Folding. Not no. Uh, D it's DIY. I hate to say it. Everybody knows I'm Motor City Machine Guns fans, but right now I think they're so hot as heels. There's no way you're gonna take the belts off of them. I mean, this is going to be a great match. There's, like I said, you have four. It's a Triple H card. I talked earlier when Scholar Tarek was on sabbatical that it's a Triple H card. So you know it's going to stay with four matches. And if you know anything about these two teams, they are going to bring it. But DIY is going to get the WIN.
All right. Scholar Brian, it's your pick up next. Who you got between DIY and Motor City Machine Guns?
I would really like to sit here and disagree, but I can't do it.
Because you know what's right, Scholar
It's
Brian. You
one
know
of
what's right.
it's just one of those. DIY has not held the titles for a very long time. And I think you got to give them a little bit more of a run. I think that you do the full thing. You do the full thing. You get one team gets one fall, the other team gets one fall. They've been doing some work with Pretty Deadly in these in backstage vignettes and all kinds of stuff. I think that Pretty Deadly gets involved and costs the Motor City Machine Guns the third fall. And I think we're setting up for a multi tag team match at WrestleMania for the tag team titles. Get them on the show, and I think at that point you can consider switching the titles. But right now, I don't think it's the time to hot shot the titles back and forth between Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. So
Brilliantly
DIY
said.
wins.
Brilliantly said, Scholar Brian. Hopefully, this champion has, some brains to him.
And indeed, I do. I had a feeling that this was going to go this way, but I really wanted to just grill my challenger tonight for a little bit, see if he would go with his brain or with his heart. Thankfully, he went with his brain, and I am also going to go with DIY to successfully retain. I fully expect shenanigans, as we predicted, but for the most part, I was just really looking to get an early shot in on my challenger to see if he would follow his brain or his heart. So that tells me, you know what? You passed the vibe check. Let's see if you got what it takes elsewhere in the card. That moves on to our next match. We've got for the WWE Championship. It's a ladder match. Cody Rhodes defending against Kevin Owens. Brian, this time it's your pickup first. Who you got between Cody and Owens?
Look, I would love to be able to sit here and say that I want Kevin Owens to win the ladder match so that we can finally have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in WrestleMania for a title. But that's a heart move. And I've always been a brain kind of guy. And look, you're going for money matches here. It's WrestleMania. You're going where the money's going. And there's more money in Cody Rhodes staying champion and facing off against the Royal Rumble winner, which you can probably tell at this point where I'm going with the Royal Rumble winner when I say that. But yeah, there's a no shot Cody Rhodes doesn't walk out of this as champion. And no, we're not doing that thing where Cody and Kevin grab one title and it's a draw. And no, Cody Rhodes is going to grab both. This was the Winged Eagle title gets retired again, and we move on to WrestleMania. Sami Zayn probably gets involved so that we start the build to a Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match at WrestleMania, but that's as far as it goes for shenanigans.
I gotta go with that. This is probably going to be the easiest match to predict on the card. Sometimes it's the obvious choice is the best choice. I am also going to go with Cody Rhodes to win. Pete, do we have our first accord of the evening?
Well, I mean, it would be our second.
Hold on, Scholar Brian. Hold on. Because we already have all agreed. Scholar Jeff on the tag team, but it's all right. Your head's just not in it because you're worried about me taking
Actually, my head is in it because Scholar Charlie already sent in his picks and he's betting on the Motor City Machine Guns. So we do not have an accord there. This could be our first accord of the evening.
Fair enough.
Now that you have been adequately corrected, please continue.
Sorry, I don't carry a cheat sheet with me there, Scholar Jeff. But
it's called a run sheet. Every good prediction or any sort of prediction show uses it. Sometimes they're called scripts, and when they're live to tape, they're called run sheets. So come at me, nerd.
I will come at you, nerd, because I am going to also agree that it will be Cody Rhodes for the win. Let me tell you why. Because he is, without a doubt, Mama Rhodes' little boy, and he is the face of WWE. And I love me some Kevin Owens, and as Scholar Brian, again, said, wonderfully, might I add. No, but I mean, get ready for their not main event, but get ready for their match at WrestleMania. Shenanigans are going to go down. I think it's going to be a clean win for Cody. It's just going to build him up as this hero champion of the people. So that will lead to who could be winning the next Royal Rumble. So let's already get into that, shall we? Let's get into the meat and the potatoes.
What we should do is how high up is Kevin Owens going to be when Sami Zayn pushes the ladder over, and how many tables and ladders does he fall through en route to Cody Rhodes getting the victory? Because we know how Kevin Owens likes to play these ladder matches.
I'm thinking the total we're going to be going over under on 4 tables.
Yes. I would say 4 tables with 2 ladders stacked in between the 4 tables.
I'll agree to that. That's a very smart prediction. But I'm talking to a undisputed scholar, so
Oh,
sitting on top of that mountain, no matter what you do.
Keep talking, son. I've got the belt. But in the meantime, let's get to the meat and potatoes of it all, shall we? Let's get to the first of 2 Royal Rumble matches. First off, we've got the Women's Royal Rumble. Now, for this one, I have the blessing of first pick as far as who I think is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble match. And for this one, I am going to go with Charlotte Flair. I feel like the allure of having a returning Charlotte Flair come in, win the thing, and challenge somebody for a main event shot at WrestleMania, regardless of who it is. I've got my predictions of who it might be, but be that as it may, I don't think it's going to change who wins this one. I am going to pick Charlotte Flair to win the Women's Royal Rumble. Pete, who do you have to pick the Women's Rumble?
You know, I did admire us for a time being tag team partners because there were some times you really showed your brilliance, and this is one of them. I can't argue with you, my opponent. I must say that Charlotte Flair will be winning. I mean, you don't give her these video packages. You don't send her on this. When's the last time we've seen her? 18 months at least. It's been some
Yeah,
time.
I know she blew out her knee. I believe that's why she was out. And then they just kind of sat her down. And then it's like, why not bring her back for a WrestleMania run? It makes all the sense in the world.
That's why, like, it's grooming, like what us gentlemen have said. Like, as much as we would like to say this is going to, of course, be the Royal Rumble game that decides this title match. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you put your predictions in. But I mean, it's like Charlotte Flair's winning. Like I could see other variables to the match and who can come in and who can make a strong, Bailey earlier being a back-to-back champion. Like I love that idea. The first woman back-to-back and it being Bailey, especially the resurgence that she's had in the last couple weeks. I think that would be great. But at the end of the day, gentlemen, we have to think about what's going to bring that energy. And like I said, I don't think there's another answer than Charlotte Flair. And I think if you would not agree, Scholar Brian, was that not well said and well kept, unlike my our champion who just gave an answer and passed on? I mean, that's what you want to hear, people, and that's why I'm your people's champion, soon to be your scholars champion.
Well, I
Fine
don't know about
speech.
all that. I don't know about all that. But what I will say is, look, reading around the dirt sheets, they're trying to sprinkle in a little flavor, saying that they might be setting up for Bianca versus Rhea this year. I don't think they are because they've still got the Jade Cargill story floating around in the background and trying to make us hope for a Bianca Belair uh, Royal Rumble victory. But you're not going to fool me because, look, you're putting too much into the Charlotte Flair return for it not to go that for it not to go for a Royal Rumble win. So it's a safe pick. It's a boring pick, but to me, it's the only pick in this Royal Rumble that makes sense. Charlotte Flair wins. She goes on to face Tiffany Stratton, Battle of the Blondes at WrestleMania.
And there you have it.
Oh, the blondes. I like it, Scott. What a witty thought there, Scholar Brian. I mean, it shows why you're just such a great champion back in the day.
Smooth, quite smooth. But now is the other side of the coin. Now we have to predict the winner of the men's Royal Rumble. And Scholar Pete, it's your up first. Of the three of us, who you got to win the men's Royal Rumble?
I didn't think it would come to this. I mean, this is where I think we separate the men from the boys. And there are a lot of options out there. So the question is where I think my opponent is going. And I think that, the game is great. The Rumble game is great, but I want to beat you on both accounts. By both accounts, I don't think you're going to be picking this guy, but I'm going to pick him. I'm talking about Mr. CM Punk to win this year's Royal Rumble. Let's talk about it. I mean, you could talk about what I presume is going to be the Jeff pick, the but let's see what happens.
Apple
But I
Dough,
mean,
yeah.
there are great athletes in there. There's Seth Rollins, there's Roman Reigns, but at the time of this recording. I mean, CM Punk is just on an incredible roll. I think that last year with the Rumble, like it was obviously Cody's time, but to win. But this year, I really think with the McIntyre feud and the storyline that he's produced, the matches he's had, just the the overall man that he came back in WWE, because at AEW he had the issues, whether it was him, whether it was the organization, who's to know? We'll find out in 10 years and behind the fucking wrestling ring. But for right now, you have just this opportunity to make like an awesome moment. Give this man who has been gone for a decade, people still chanted his name all throughout the decade he was gone. Give him this match, and then you're saying there's two baby faces. We're not about baby faces. We're not about heels. It's just a Triple H era. We're about great storyline. And what a better storyline than Punk versus Rhodes. I mean, can't you picture it? It's CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble. And I say, gentlemen, what are your predictions?
Well, let's
You,
get to it. Brian, you're the next in line. Who you got to win the men's rumble?
you see, up until that promo segment with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, I was with you, Pete. I was all in on CM Punk winning this Royal Rumble. And then he said a curious line during that promo to Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes got a little bit upset about it. He was like, "You want to be San Martino. You want to be John Cena." And that's when Cody Rhodes kind of shut down and had a little bit of an episode. And then you think about it. It's a pet. You want to talk about story? Let's talk about story. It's a passing of the torch moment. Main event, night 2 of WrestleMania. We want to talk about money matchups. Okay, CM Punk already has one in the bag. He has that. He has that favor. He can find another way. He can get into the title picture that way. He can face off against Roman Reigns. You want money matches, right? The biggest money match based off of story that you could tell at WrestleMania is not CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. It's John Cena going for his record-breaking 17th title versus Cody Rhodes looking to become the actual face of the WWE. I'm gonna do it. As I said, it's a safe pick. It's a boring pick, but I'm not the one going for the title. I'm go- I'm going for John Cena.
Okay. Okay. Again, one of several very strong picks. And I'll tell you what, I came very close to going for John Cena here. However, for all the reasons you just said, there's one thing that sort of makes me pause. If this is his final full-time year as a wrestler, if this is his last year as a wrestler, period, I feel like they're going to want to keep him active and regular and keep his reps and keep him warmed up for the entire year, which means it tells me that if you were to say give him a Royal Rumble win at the beginning of the year and he's just got that fast track to WrestleMania, he's really gotten no more reasons to show up until WrestleMania or wrestle at all, really. However, if someone else were to win, now suddenly you've got ways to put Cena in not just the Royal Rumble, but in places like the Elimination Chamber and a whole host of other places, in order to keep him chasing that title throughout the entire year, possibly with him winning it towards the end of the year. So, no, I don't. I can't fully put my all into a John Cena prediction tonight. Instead, I'm going to back another horse. I'm going to back CM Punk, which this is honestly my pick that I was going for. We can check the Rumble game predictions, every other spreadsheet that I put my hands on, if you don't believe me. But CM Punk, I feel like he's about as strong of a chance this year as he ever has, especially after last year, especially after all the promos that have been cut. I feel like this is a very strong, likely contender for a CM Punk victory. And you know what? That's what I'm going to go for. I'm also going to go with CM Punk for the win.
We can all agree that the final two are got to be Cena and Punk, right?
I'd
I
say, I don't know about top two, but final four for sure.
what
Absolutely.
you want to know what also went into my pick? I want CM Punk to go on another bender about a part timer taking away his main event at WrestleMania. I I would love a CM Punk heel turn here because once again his opportunity at a WrestleMania main event was taken away from him by, yeah, he's going to be a full timer through the year, but we haven't seen him in how long? A year and a half. So he could play up that part. I got my main event taken away again,
Listen, I was
again.
close to going to Penta. Penta was going to be my choice for the Rumble.
Honestly, I think Penta does have a dark horse chance of actually winning this. No joke. Not
I
because
don't
he's
think
got
he
a
can.
chance against Cody,
I don't
but if
think
he
he can.
wins,
Yeah,
not against Cody, but he could use it to challenge Gunther. That I believe is an absolute money match.
That
I believe it's a money match. I also believe that he could be in the final four. I don't believe I never even crossed my mind that Penta was going to have a shot. I do think within a year, maybe, but I don't think they give it to him straight up right away. I don't
but
think they're quite in that fuck you AEW mode where we're going to give a luchador 3 months in a title shot at WrestleMania. I don't think we're that. I don't think we're in that deep yet.
let me tell you
There,
something though about the Rumble. I mean, you have to say that it's a beautifully stacked Rumble. You still got some surprises.
Yeah,
You have
they did set
speed.
it up. They did set it up so that you could believe any number of people could win, even though we're pretty much locked in on two. It's like
And
everybody's got like a specific story to follow where they could possibly win.
well, I'll tell you what, with all the predictions we put in here so far, at least the most obvious ones, as far as tonight goes, we're still not quite done yet. Because as we've done for many, many years now here at the Scholars of Wrestling Show, for every prediction that we've done, we've also, in addition to picking names, we have also picked numbers, specifically three numbers. We'll go sequentially and then we'll pick three numbers, 1 through 30, one at a time, with no repeats. And if your number ends up winning the match, you get an extra 3 points. If you plus, you'll also get one extra point for every elimination that one of your numbers scores. So this is where oftentimes the real meat and potatoes of every single Scholars of Wrestling Royal Rumble prediction game are or is won and lost. So, with all that being said, now we will go in rotation. We'll pick three numbers with no repeats. Scholar Charlie has already removed the numbers 8, 20, and 27 from the board. Now it's time for the rest of us scholars to start going in sequence and picking numbers. And the first number pick goes to Scholar Brian. Pick your first number rather for the Royal Rumble.
So I'm going first, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Uno.
Going for number 1. All right. Scholar Brian has number 1. It'll be my pick up next. I think for this one, I am going to go with. Gotta be a little bit bold here. I'm going to go with number 6. No particular reason. I just got a weird feeling about the early numbers. Once we get past the first 5 or so, I think something weird is going to happen. There's going to be someone big coming out of that number. Now, Scholar Talk. Sorry, my dear Scholar Pete. What is your first number that you're going to pick for the Royal Rumble?
Well, thank you, Scholar Ray, for remembering who I actually am. But
And
let me
thank you
just
for
say
getting my
that
name wrong for the second time today, Scholar Ray. That my name is not Ray.
Scholar Jeff, sorry, yeah, it must have been something wrong with my mic. Listen, it's a very important decision, and fans of the Scholars of Wrestling, please, I mean, there's the obvious pick. So let me assure you, fans watching, listening, that of course the number we're going to go with is 4. It's obviously the best number because it's 4. Need I say more? Everything is great with the number 4.
Your pick is such a
Look at
bore.
look at the rhyme scheme. Not bad.
It was no chore.
Stop being such a whore. I don't need any more. Anyway, moving on to our second number pick for the evening. And I believe this one goes to me. We're going in sequence, baby. This is how it's done. For this one, I'm going to go mid-range for this. I am going to go with number 15. Straight dead center in the middle of the pack. The turning point of any Royal Rumble. I'm going to go with number 15. Scholar Pete, what is your second number going to be?
One with a Price is Right, you Scholar Jeff, and go 16.
16? All right.
Because 16 beats 15 any day of the week. Get a one up in the chat crowd. Let's go.
Just watch the Rock or someone comes out at 15. Brian, your pickup for number 2.
I will go with the lucky number 13. Oh, yeah.
Not picking up the significance of the number 13. But I appreciate the Macho Man all the same. Yeah. But now it's time for Rumble number 3. Yeah, the third of the 3 numbers. Yeah. And now it's time for Scholar Pete to make his final prediction of the evening. What you gonna snap into, Scholar Pete?
Well, let me tell you something. It's too hot to handle and too cold to hold. That's what my number is going to be. And of course, my number is going to be the best number, which is my birthday, the 23rd.
All right. Number 23 for Scholar Pete. Scholar Brian, what is your third and final number that you're going to go with?
I will bookend because I start at number 1 and I end at number 30.
It's the most boring prediction, Scholar Brian. I mean, down the just straight and now. No excitement.
Well, I can do that because I'm not involved in your little power struggle over here. I'm just sitting on top of the mountain waiting for somebody to come up and join me.
And I'll
with
tell
that.
you what, with my third and final prediction of the evening, I am going to go just, you know what's even better than 23?
Don't you do it.
24.
You did it. I can't believe you did it.
I had to. Because I just have to take every chance I have to one up a true contender to my Scholars of Wrestling World Championship. I'm locking it in. I'm going with 24.
Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. What you're going to see is two Goliaths coming up, going for this title. Scholar Jeff, I wish you honestly the best. I mean, truly, without cause, you are the best. Best,
Yes.
best.
Two Goliaths fighting for a title that is just going to come to me when I win the number one contendership to face whoever wins this match, wherever it may be. It doesn't matter who wins this match because it's coming back home to Papa when the show is over.
But yes, those are our predictions thus far, and we will get Tarek's predictions shortly, probably by the time you're watching this. But in the meantime, we're still not quite done, or at least you are not quite done. Because if you actually have a chance to join us in our predictions, if you're watching this as soon as this episode comes out, we are in the final hours of our annual Royal Rumble prediction game. It's the 15th consecutive year we've been doing this, and it's always a ton of fun every single year. It's a highlight of the wrestling calendar for us, and it can be hopefully a highlight for you as well, especially since we're giving away a $25 gift card to WWE Shop to whoever ends up winning this sucker. So, if you want your chance to play, just check out in the description below your link to fill out our annual Royal Rumble game prediction form for your chance to beat all of us scholars and to win a nice little prize for yourself. So you can join in the fun and play along with other fans just like you. Again, it's always a ton of fun every single year. Pete, I believe you put in your predictions, haven't you?
I have. I mean, it's you got to think, who's going to come out first, who's going to come out 30th, who's going to be the final four, who's going to win between Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, very simple. You put in your information, you submit, and you're there. You're in the contestant. You're going to go against me. You're going to go against Scholar Brian, Scholar Tarek, Scholar Jeff. It's going to be it's a fun time. In the comments down below, definitely click that link and get in all about it, guys.
Absolutely. Brian, did I see you submitted your picks already? You ready to go?
Not quite.
Not
Not
quite.
quite. I always take my time. I select my picks here, and then I go fill out the form because I try not to think about it too much beforehand.
Fair enough. Just a heads up for anyone listening to this, you've got the deadline to fill up the form is 4 p.m. on February 1st, 4 p.m. on Rumble Day, because as you see, there's going to be a lot of math going on around the entire weekend. So we're going to need to make sure you get in your predictions between 4 p.m. Eastern to have your chance to win and to play along with all of us, as it is absolutely a great time. But now with that, now the trash talk must commence in earnest. Far beyond this particular episode of the Scholars Wrestling, it's going to spill across the entire internet. Let us know what you think. Everywhere we are, we want to hear from you. YouTube comments, Facebook posts, Instagram, whatever you call those postings. And of course, on the Twitter and X machines, you can also join the conversation with all of us yourself. Scholar Brian, where can he reach you there?
You can reach me sitting in the corner enjoying the matchup between the two Goliaths, waiting to slide in there for my turn at Atomic Beanpole.
And my illustrious opponent, Scholar Pete, where can he reach you?
Well, they can reach me at you when you sit down to your couch to watch this wonderful Royal Rumble event. Grab some popcorn, get ready for some great action. Get ready for your boy to take back his title because you could find me at Improv Beat.
And you can find me
Yeah, grab your
holding
belt. Yeah,
still
grab your belt
holding
while you
on
still
to
can.
this beautiful gold belt at I'm Robbie Rage. Join in the conversation yourself. Look forward to hearing from you. And for all of these relevant social media links and much, much more, you can check us out at our link tree in the description box below. That's linktree/Scholars of Wrestling. And with that, I believe there's nothing else left to say, but just to dive into the Royal Rumble. You know we're going to be fighting tooth and nail for this title, this lovely golden belt. You already knew that because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome.
See you all and get ready to rumble.